Good morning, my YouTube friends. Monica here with MyWyoStyle. Remember, God loves you. We're just finishing up a few odds and ends, and I'm gonna plant some tomatoes. So come along with us. This morning we poured some concrete to finish up this patio that we did. So I wanted to clean up this edge a little with some concrete. So we poured it, and I kind of formed it around this tree too, so that way I can blow it off with a blower. And we poured enough concrete in this corner so I could finish the bricks around this step that I made. I started these tomatoes already, and I always plant them in a triangle, so right where my spade is, I'm going to put another tomato in. The weeds are already growing like crazy in here, so I got to get my seeds in and start taking care of all these weeds. I also got some jalapeno plants that I'm going to be planting today too. I'm out here in my flip-flops, so let's see how this is going to work today. This dirt is really wet, so I should be able to get my tomatoes in pretty good. We have really had a lot of success planting a salsa garden here in zone 5, and when I plant my tomatoes, I'll pull off these bottom branches because I want to really push the root growth on these tomatoes when I start them. I'm going to probably plant it up to here in the dirt, because if you look really closely, all these little fuzzy hairs on this tomato is a potential root. So I'm going to get this going. I always try to step around the tomato plant and get those roots firmly planted. And now I'm going to water it. The rest of the dirt is pretty dry as I go to the south here. So I'll fill the hole with water before I actually plant the tomato plant. So keep watching. So while that ground is wet, I'm gonna go grab my tomato cages. And I bought some stronger ones this year because last year when we put manure in the garden, the tomato plants got huge. So I got a little bit stronger tomato cages this year, and we'll see how that does for us. Okay, now I'm just going to clean up the edge of the grass that's growing in the garden, and then I'm going to take a garden rake and rake out everything pretty smooth, because if you notice, we kind of live up on a hill and the water kind of flows down And I try to plant gardens, or I'm going to put the tree run's going to go a little further up the yard. So that way we can utilize the watering system when we're watering. We have to water by hand, so I have a lot of lawn tractors. If you don't know what that is, I'll get a video of that, and they're pretty cool. But they kind of stay low to the ground here in Wyoming. The wind blows, if you know anything about that. So sometimes we get as hard as 80-mile-an-hour winds. So we've got to try to utilize all the water without it blowing away with a regular sprinkler. So let me get that done. So when we moved here, this run had some old lilac bushes in it, and I'm still pulling out roots from that. But they're all dead and they looked really horrible. And it took us about 2 years to pull them all out. I kind of wish we had a little bit of coverage right here from the field, but when it's green like this, it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to show you what to do with your tomato cages. They're kind of in a point. I don't know if I can get an angle for you, but they're kind of in a point, and I'm afraid it will hurt my roots on my tomatoes. And I want, like I said, I want as much sturdiness from them as possible. But I'm going to spread them open, but right here they are welded together. So you don't want to break this weld. So hold on to that area and pull your tines back so that way you can get these away from your roots that you just planted. And that will help. I hope you can see that. That way you don't destroy those roots you just planted. And this area gets watered every single day just to keep up with the growth on these tomatoes. Like I said, I love making a salsa garden, and I'll teach you how to can my salsa too in the fall when our tomatoes are ready. Also, we water with well water, so we put the manure in last month, so the manure has had time to be snowed on and rained on, and to eliminate the shock for my tomatoes when I put them in. It is Memorial Weekend, and I take that opportunity to plant my garden. If I planted any sooner than that, the hail and the snow, and I've even seen it snow here in June. If you see where is my tree? My crabapple tree has lost most of its blooms, and when it was in full bloom, I had a video of that. So Go look at how beautiful that tree is when it's in full bloom. Anyways, I'm going to get this done, and Kurt's gonna get the lawn finished mowing, and we'll show you what it looks like this evening when it's gorgeous. Sorry, I wanted to show you these poor tomatoes. They were in the clearance bin, but sometimes I have really good luck bringing them back to life when I give them some fertilizer from the garden. I got them for $1, and I'm going to plant them up the stem so that way they're strong enough. And then when you do that, it makes the whole tomato plant strong too. I wanted to show you this rhubarb. It is ready. So hopefully Rhonda and I can get together and make some rhubarb jam pretty soon. Kurt just mowed the grass. It looks amazing. The onions are ready, and so is the grass, ready to get pulled out. Wow, the grass grows fast. I cut down and dried out the rest of those hollyhock seeds. If you want any, just send me an email and I'll mail some to you. Our tulips are gone, but this hollyhock started up this year out of nowhere. And the last surviving lilac bush is doing really good this year. The blooms are gorgeous. They're just now popping open. And this is our front yard. We're gonna try to mow it, water it and mow it for another year. We're gonna put a carport here too, big enough for 4 vehicles, and maybe on this end of it a little shop so we can work on vehicles. That's my husband's brother's truck. We lost him a few years ago, and we still can't believe it. He was very precious to us. Okay, my sweet friends, we are going to fill this area up with concrete too, since we have the concrete, because sometimes when we come down the steps I get too close to that edge and sometimes I trip into it. We tried to put some bricks in there, but we thought that the sand would hold too much moisture and start decaying the siding here. But if you notice, this area, we poured the concrete right up against the siding, and it has seemed to hold pretty good. And we did it all the way around up to, you can see where we poured this new concrete here. And this was the existing concrete that used to be here. We went ahead and ripped this portion out through here because this huge tree that we had cracked this whole sidewalk. And it still continues to do that. We were able to put a French drain here that goes to this drain down here to divert the water away from our house. So this is all in a slope still, and we're going to continue to keep that in a slope so that the water will drain away from the house. I was able to finish planting. Tomorrow I'm going to put some cucumbers right here. They seem to love this spot. I don't know why, but I got the cages ready for it, and got our pepper plants in. I put pepper plants in other gardens too, so there'll be plenty of jalapenos for the salsa. Got 8 tomatoes, and then those tomatoes for 25 cents each. I got them planted, and we'll see what they do. Here is that concrete we poured. It is 5 60-pound bags of concrete, and we thought we were going to have enough to get all the way to the corner and about a foot along this edge here. But that didn't happen, so tomorrow we're going to go get some more concrete and try to get this done. I wanted you to see this flower garden. All my grape hyacinths are in full bloom. They're so beautiful. I love the colors. And the tulips came out really nice too. Got some columbines, some delphiniums, some more hollyhocks, and I just planted a couple more roses. Well, enjoy the evening, everyone, and God bless you.